Good morning, everybody. My name is Ben Malchuk. Today, I would like to open your eyes to the profession of wildlife habitat restoration. I'm not yet physically involved in wildlife habitat restoration, but I've done enough research to inform you guys today about it. Um, so, first, I'd like to discuss some professions of importance within this field, and then we'll break it down into some methods that they use to problem solve, some ways of problem solving, and also some problems, some real life problems and examples. Um, so, getting straight to it, some jobs that are associated with it are wildlife manager, and according to the Wildlife Society magazine, wildlife managers manipulate wildlife habitats, populations, and which benefits wildlife and habitat problems. Wildlife biology, on the other hand, wildlife biologists gathers, analyzes, and interprets data, and their data is based on animal behavior, disease, ecology, and much more. This plays a key role in understanding how effectively to create solutions to wildlife habitat problems. Lastly, we have wildlife technicians. Wildlife technicians are also a key role in habitat restoration. They are what allows wildlife managers and biologists to do their job effectively. They gather research that wildlife managers and biologists can further interpret to help them do their work. Moving on, next we'll talk about some methods used to benefit wildlife habitats. So this one is called landscape fragmentation. This is a tool that measures the effects of change, useful for estimating the amount of damage that can be prevented while working on changing a habitat. There are three segments of landscape fragmenting. There's a controlled fragment, or there's a controlled landscape, there is an uncontrolled landscape, and there is the original landscape. This is good for one reason, and it helps wildlife workers pick and choose which way is the best way to go. Another way that wildlife habitat restorationists or specialists affect and help manage wildlife habitat restoration is conservation law. This is a way to protect wildlife animals and their habitats. Conservation law puts species on the endangered species list, which, as we all know, prohibits poaching or any kind that may further the animal to extinction quicker. Moving on. Actually, one more thing that they do, they also help block people's ability to just tear down animals' habitats for homes and businesses purposes. Next on to the real life problem / situation. Roaring River Hills. This is a park in Missouri in the 1980s. They had a difficult situation with cedar trees overgrowing and overshadowing the areas where wildlife flowers bloomed. This was a problem for wildlife habitat restorationists / specialists because they had to choose whether to let nature take its course or whether to cut back on the cedar trees in order to inhibit the growth of the wildlife flowers. Later on, they chose that letting nature run its course was the best option, and this brings up a valid point that not always is human intervention the best outcome for wildlife habitats, and this is why we have habitat specialists. This was according to The Problem Solving in Conservation Biology and Wildlife Management by James Gibbs, Malcolm Hunter, E.J. Sterling. And I'd like to thank you all for being a kind and respectful audience. Thank you.